everyone, it's so nice to have you back here today. I hope you all enjoyed your holiday weekend. We are going to do the second part, maybe it's the third part, to our challenge for the month of April. I have taken my journal, my signature that I had sewn and onto my fabric that has the carpet tape on it, and I added my other two signatures. I decided I wanted to work with a 3 signature journal. So that's why I have 3. Now to start our cover, we're not going to get it all totally made today. I am going to use this Amazon packaging bag. I have torn off the labels. Now I'm going to open the bag up on the sides like this and like this, so that we have now one long piece. All right, then I'm going to take my journal, and first thing I want to, take my journal, and I'm going to decide on the size of it. So I will leave about 1/4 of an inch beyond the size of my signature for my cover. So I'm going to lay it on here about like this, and then I can see that, well, that's about how tall I want it. So I'll make a mark up here, and then I have to decide how wide I want it. So I'm going to fold it over like this. But as you can see, the journal, the signature, already tends to want to have a gator mouth. So I'm going to add an allowance to that. So I'll slide it to the left just a little bit further so that I have a little extra cover for this journal. Because I don't have anything in it, I don't know just how big of a gator mouth it's going to get. And I want to be sure that I don't have too small of a journal cover. So now I have the lines that I want. And I'm going to line up a ruler here. And then draw a line here. And draw a line here, which is about here. And let's just go ahead and measure a little. So we need it to be 9 inches. We'll go 9 inches and make a mark here so that we can have a guide that we can use to get a straighter line here. And then, okay, so then I'll go ahead and cut that. And I'll set this aside for another journal. I'll cut on this side also. And I'll save this aside for using somewhere else in a journal. So now I have what's going to be my journal cover. So let me set my signature back in there and see how that works. All right. If you can see here, I have some extra here. So that will compensate for the extra bulk on my journal when I put it together. So I'm happy with that. I think that'll be a good fit. All right. The next thing that I'm going to do for my cover is I want to make a soft cover, which is what this bag is going to do. It's going to make a soft cover. And I want it to be paper on the outside of it, not fabric. Just because I'm really into doing this mixed media collage, I thought I would take you along on the journey of how I make a mixed media collage cover for my journal. So I have this box, this drawer of book papers that I will just tear papers out of. Now, you can use any type of glue that you want. A glue stick is a no-no. You will need something that is liquid. Here I tell you, you can use whatever you want, and then I say, well, you can't do this or you can't do that. I have some soft matte gel that I'm going to use. If you have even white Elmer's glue, or what else might you have? You might have, if you have Mod Podge, whatever you might have, will work for this. I just happen to like my matte gel, so I use that. And I'm not going to worry about this either, this where I tore the labels off, because I'm covering it up anyhow. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to take my matte gel and apply it very generously on my cover. I'm going to get this troubled part here covered first, just like that. And this is a good place to use some of your fragile papers too, because you can get them all glued down and not have to worry then about them ripping. And just take your papers and go every which way. It doesn't have to be in any order. Sometimes I tear off a little bit of this. Now, I also will, with doing this, I will also go over the edge. Now you can do that on the front or you can do that on the back. Since I didn't do it here, I'll do it on the other side. But you're going to cover both sides of your bag with paper. With whatever kind of paper you want to use, whatever scraps you might have. Just pull them out and let's use some of them up. Let's not hoard them forever. So if I were going to do the side here, I would just leave it hang over like maybe 1/2 of an inch and then glue it down. But like I say, I didn't do it on that very first piece, so now I'm going to wait and do it on the other side. So I will be back when I get this part of the cover finished. All right, so here we have it. It is all glued down, all the paper inside and outside. You see where I did the edges. My next step is going to be to add a coat of gesso. I like gesso. Number one, it's cheap. And number two, it's kind of a little translucent. So I like that quality about it too. You can use, if you don't have gesso, you can use acrylic paint. If it's really thick, you can water it down. Water it down with just water, or you can use a extender or a binding medium. Water will work just fine. What we want to do is just get a coat of white, or it can be actually any color if you want, and just kind of have it so that we can still see our writing from our book paper through it, but yet it's going to pull everything all together. So I am going to let this dry probably 24 hours. I want to make sure it's nice and dry before I add another layer. And then I will be back with you. I'm not sure, but I will be back. And we will work on this some more. So I hope you're enjoying this process so far. We're going to have something, I hope, really, really cool when we're done. So you have a great rest of your day, and we shall see you again in a day or two. Bye now.